Welcome to English with Teacher. I'm Teacher. Thank you very much for joining me today. Hope you're having a great day. So, today we are doing advanced English. We're doing it out of the Bible. Yay! And we are in John. We are doing John chapter 5, verses 31 to 47. And so we're going to be doing reading and then we're going to be doing discussion. And I will be doing this with my ultra talented, very charming, and always professional co host. So, ma'am, would you please introduce yourself?
Hello, teacher. Hello, everyone. My name is Pham. I'm from Vietnam.
Thank you for joining me all the way from Vietnam, Miss Vân. So, do me a favor and start out by reading the verses in front of you.
Yes. Number 1 to 21.
What?
Chapter 6.
Okay, yes, sorry, my bad.
Yeah. Jesus feeds 5,000. After this, Jesus crossed over to the far side of the Sea of Galilee, also known as the Sea of Tiberias. A huge crowd kept following him wherever he went, because they saw his miraculous signs as he healed the sick. Then Jesus climbed a hill and sat down with his disciples around him. It was nearly time for the Jewish Passover celebration. Jesus soon saw a huge crowd of people coming to look for him. Turning to Philip, he asked, "Where can we buy bread to feed all these people?" He was testing Philip, for he already knew what he was going to do. Philip replied, "Even if we worked for months, we wouldn't have enough money to feed them. Then Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, spoke up. "There's a young boy here with 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. But what good is that with this huge crowd?" "Tell everyone to sit down," Jesus said. So they all sat down on the grassy slopes. The man alone numbered about 5,000. Then Jesus took the loaves, gave thanks to God, and distributed them to the people. Afterward, he did the same with the fish, and they all ate as much as they wanted. After everyone was full, Jesus told his disciples, "Now gather the leftovers so that nothing is wasted."
Whoa.
So that nothing is wasted.
No. Right.
Wasted.
There's that
Yeah.
S.
Yeah. So so that nothing is wasted. Yeah.
There we go.
So they picked up the pieces and filled 12 baskets with scraps left by the people who had eaten from the 5 barley loaves. When the people saw him do this miraculous sign, they exclaimed, "Surely he is the prophet we have been expecting." When Jesus saw that they were ready to force him to be their king, he slipped away into the hills by himself. Jesus walks on water. That evening Jesus' disciples went down to the shore to wait for him. But as darkness fell and Jesus still hadn't come back, they got into the boat and headed across the lake toward Capernaum. Soon a glare swept down upon them, and the sea grew very rough. They had rowed 3 or 4 miles when suddenly they saw Jesus walking on the water toward the boat. They were terrified, but he called out to them, "Don't be afraid, I am here." Then they were eager to let him in the boat, and immediately they arrived at their destination.
Nice. Good job.
Yeah.
You are getting so good at your pronunciation. You slow down, you do things properly. It's very nice.
Yes, thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's hear your explanation.
Yes. There are huge crowd following Jesus.
Okay, whoa. There was a huge crowd.
There was a huge crowd
Following Jesus.
Whenever he went, because they saw Jesus' miraculous signs when he healed the sick. Jesus climbed a hill and sat down with his disciples. Then Jesus saw them, and he asked Philip.
He asked Philip,
"Where can we buy bread to feed all these people?" He was just testing Philip because he already knew what he was going to do. Philip replied, They couldn't have enough money to feed them. Even if they worked for months.
Right.
Andrew and Simon Peter's brother said, there's a young boy here with five barley loaves and 2 fish.
Barley
Loaves and 2 fish. But it was enough for this huge crowd. Jesus asked his disciples, tell everyone to sit down.
Okay, he asked his disciples to tell everyone to sit down.
Jesus asked his disciples to tell everyone to sit down.
Perfect.
The men alone numbered about 5,000. Jesus took the loaves and gave thanks to God and distributed them to the people. Jesus took the loaves and fish, gave thanks to God, and distributed them to the people. They ate as much as they wanted. When everyone was full, Jesus asked his disciples to gather the leftovers, so nothing is wasted. His disciples picked up the pieces and filled 12 baskets. The people saw Jesus do this miraculous sign. They exclaimed. They exclaimed. This is the prophet they have been expecting. When Jesus saw that they were ready to force him to be their king, he slipped away into the hills. By himself.
Very good.
That evening, Jesus' disciples went down to the shore to wait for Jesus. But but darkness fell. Jesus still hadn't come back. So
hang on. Darkness fell and Jesus.
Darkness fell and Jesus still hadn't come back. His disciples got into the boat and headed across the lake toward Capernaum. Then a gale swept down upon them, and the sea grew very rough. Jesus, they was afraid. They were scared. They scared.
They were scared.
They were scared. Jesus. When suddenly they saw Jesus walking on the water toward the boat, and they said, and Jesus said, "Don't be afraid, I am here." Then they were eager to let him into the boat, and they arrived at their destination.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
You're getting better and better. There's always a little correction, but nothing major. So
Yeah.
you go back and you watch the video, and you'll see it's little things mostly, right? Little words. That's about it. You're missing little words.
Yes.
So practice. The more we do, the better you'll get. Awesome work, though.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm very pleased with how you're learning. You're doing an awesome job. Be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you have any questions?
No.
No? You understand everything?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining me today. And thank you everyone at home for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned from it. And I hope to see you all in the next video. Have a great day.